Hello and welcome back to another city update. This time it's August somehow already, and we've done quite a bit to the city since I last updated you in July. So let's get straight into it. So here's a bit of an overview, and I'd say it's pretty obvious straight away what is different, and we've actually added an entire another base plate to the right hand side here of the city. So let's start with this area because it's all new. Now, we made the train station, so this is like an underground station with the platforms, and there was a little Easter egg here which I explained I think in my other video about building this train, that the yellow and the red flags or advertising and the detailing around here is actually a link or a reference to the football game that's happening in the city. So the yellow is obviously this team and the red is that team. So they're their main colours. So I assume a whole lot of people on this train are coming to watch the football game that's happening. So next to that, I also made a video on this that will no longer be staying there. I'm just putting it there at the moment as a placeholder because I don't really know where else to put it, so we'll leave that there. This is a stairway down to the underground entrance of the train station, and then if you go up the stairs it actually enters a shopping mall. So there's sort of two parts to this building. The upper levels being the mall, so the middle layer is like an indoor mall, and then the top is an outdoor mall, so that's why there's no roof or anything on it. It's just got this nice tiling trimming it off. So that's a mall. What I like about this mall is that I've added, you see these windows, hopefully you can see that there, like I've put coloured studs that are transparent on the other side. So this one's red, this one's green, orange and a blue. So it seems like stained glass windows to me, and I sort of wanted that to, how would you say that, like different shop themes, you know, like different brands and different stores have different colourways, so I didn't want them all to look the same. Like I want them to be different because they sell different things. Like one might be a shoe shop, one could be, I don't know, a cafe or something. So yeah, the different colours are, one, because they look cool and I like the light being able to shine through them and have the different colours, and then the other part to it is that they're actually different shops, so that's why they are different colours. And then if we move to the left here of this build, we actually have an elevator. Now it's very simple, it's just again one of these studs, what are they called, brick modifieds or something, with the hole in the back and a stud on the other side. So that's just one of those, but in grey, and the trans blue tiles are like the elevator shaft. So the elevator is currently in between levels, so it's meant to go up and down, and that's obviously to connect the two shop levels and the train station. For anyone who can't actually use the stairs, they can use the elevator. So it does go down. It does go down another level to behind here, but I don't really want to take all that off. So there is an exit for them underneath there. So that's that little detail. Recently, I built this little pond, which I used to have. If you've seen some of my older videos and older shorts, I did actually used to have a waterfall in the back here, but I took that off because it was sort of, I want to say, like a little bit in the middle of nowhere, and the hillside tapers down, and then you've got the farm here. I didn't want to have to build up this entire back section to match the height of the waterfall, because you know the waterfall has to flow off something obviously, so the rest of the surrounds would have to match that level. So I took that off and just added a small like rock formation at the bottom there of the bridge. So yeah, that replaced the waterfall. So instead, with this little pond here, I was thinking of adding a little mini waterfall. So I'd probably remove, sorry I keep zooming in, I'd probably remove this plate here, and not plate, tile, and add some transparent studs or something to there, just so it actually looks like a waterfall, and it's like splashing, so probably trans blue and clear tiles maybe. It's like the foam. Yeah, so I was thinking these could be the backdrop, or actually the waterfall. I don't know yet. We're still working on this, but maybe there's like a stream coming across here and then flowing down to a little pond. I wanted to have some curves and some water, like a water area in this base plate here, because we have, you know, we in the middle one, so if I back out here, we've got 1, 2, 3 base plates. No, that's not true. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 base plates, and the join is actually there. So technically, these 2 base plates have a water part. The one on the left obviously does with the beach, and so the one on the right I was thinking could have another water feature, but this time a pond. And I really like the curves that you can do with the tiling around the edge of the pond. It just makes it look a little bit more natural, you know. So yeah, that's new. And in the back here, these are some skyscrapers I built. This one used to be over here, but I had to move that to make way for the mall. So this one's new, which is only made up of 4 pieces, surprisingly. And 2 of them are just for the top. It's not super stable because there's only 2 studs holding each of these together, which are those transparent light blue tiles. Not tiles, plates. I keep mixing those up. Forgive me, I will probably continue to mix those up. Yeah, so it's not super stable, but it looks really cool, and I like the angle of it. This other one here I built, I really like because it has a bridge connecting the 2 towers together. So I thought that was pretty funky. And these aren't the final positions of the skyscrapers, but I didn't really know where else to put them temporarily, you know. And same with this crane, I keep moving it around. So for storage sake, I'm just going to pop that back there, because this will have to move. I'm not sure, I feel like this building can probably stay. I want a gradual incline, I suppose, in the height of the building. So this is more like smaller shops, kind of turning residential almost into the countryside, and then over here we can have the pond, and then the more industrial, more built up, like city centre sort of feeling, which these tall skyscrapers really provide. So yeah, that's happening there. Oh, and I have built up the base plate. As you can see, I've got different levels, so I didn't want it to be all base plate height, especially since I made an underground train station. If it's actually underground, obviously I have to build up the ground above it. So that's sort of what I've done. There's a few different elevation points. So this was the first one that was raised up to match the height of the existing layout that we had. And I've just put some road tiles here to sort of make sure that it actually fits and joins up seamlessly. So I don't want it to be super obvious that we've just tacked a base plate onto the right hand side, so I need to join up some of these roads. I might change the layout of some of them, like this one probably shouldn't end there, and it should continue on this road this way, so need to change that. But overall I'm pretty happy with how this looks, considering it was a little bit of an afterthought, you know. On my original sketch very early on, when I first started building this, I just had the mountains and like some sort of grassy rural hill area transitioning to the city centre. So yeah, I'm stoked with how that looks, considering we've just started working on. Obviously it's early days, like that's nowhere near done. It still looks very ugly and messy, like there's gaps underneath here, you know, totally not finished, but very happy with the work in progress. And I continued on the black tiling around it because I think that makes it look pretty clean. What else have we been working on? Oh, since my previous actual update video, we took apart this front part of the hill. So if you remember, the beach, oh my gosh, the beach actually continued to about here, which looking back on it is quite funny. It was more of like a sand dune. So now we have a much smaller, much more realistic sort of beach sandy level, and I did a little bit of extra detailing on the waterfront, so I didn't have this I think it's dark tan colour. When I first made the beach, I had probably like 2 bits of plate of this colour, so I have come across more in my time of getting some Lego collections and stuff, so I managed to scrounge around and find those. Now the campground has also moved from this middle island, which now has a cute tree and some flowers on it, to the beach. So I'm thinking maybe there's like a scout or a guide's camp or something. There's some more coloured tents. Yeah, they're having a good time on the beach. So if we move up here, I've added a little bit of extra height to the mountain as well, because eventually, you know, I would like it to be tapered to maybe be about like there and then come down, so it's actually got like a peak to it. So yeah, we're slowly, you know, acquiring dark grey and light grey bricks, and then it does require quite a bit of filler, so just random colour bricks to actually build the height. Yeah, so I'm getting there with that. And this is a little build. I haven't finalised the positioning of this. I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can build a cave or something to have this sitting all about there. And these are some ruins. So it was actually a suggestion from one of the subscribers, so thank you for that, to build a ruins here. So that's what I've done. It's made out of some masonry bricks in like old colours. So that's the green one might, you know, be mossy, and then these are all weathered, and there's some treasure on the inside and vines growing over the top because it's, you know, a ruins and it's been sitting there not being looked after. So yep, that's that. And I've just placed them at the top there for now. We built in the fancy house with the pool. We actually built it into the hill, so I think the placement of that is pretty good there. I think it looks quite nice. It sort of breaks up some of the green and the grey. And this house here was one of my original mini house designs, and I'm not sold on its spot there. You know, I think it should probably eventually move. Not sure to where, maybe here. Let me know where you think it should go. The reason why I want it to move is because I think it's a little bit too grey. Like, if you cast your eye just at a glance over here, that doesn't stand out at all. It just looks like it's part of the mountain. Whereas if it was different colours, or if it was somewhere over here, you'd actually be able to see it. Yeah, so I think I want to move that. If we move over here, I've also changed the farm area, so I've shrunk it down a little bit. In my previous one, if you saw that it used to be these guys. So these were little pigs and I still want to keep some sort of farm animals. I want to add more as well, like some sheep or cows or something, but I don't know where I would have them. Like, do they go in the front here? Maybe. They probably shouldn't be up here with the other houses. I think the only sort of spot for them would be somewhere around here. So yeah, I'm not 100% certain on where I would put those, but I do like them and I want to have more animals. Anyway, so we've replaced, the pigs used to be here and we've now replaced them with a little forest, and I absolutely love this dark green. I think this dark green looks so good. It adds a really nice contrast, makes it look dense, and adds variety to this otherwise very monochromatic area. Yeah, so there's a variety. Most of them are just on brown studs, but a couple of them are on little, what are they called? Poles, rods, something like that. So I think that looks epic, and I've added some green plate as well, some dark green plate to taper off the hill a bit, make it a bit smoother. So I think that's a very big improvement. That's one of my favourite areas now. It just looks so good from from whatever angle you look at it, especially with the bridge. Oh, this car's about to have a crash. I really need to replace one of these as well, to have a stud to put this car on. Like, this one is actually clipped in, so it's not going anywhere. But I thought it looked a little bit dull, a bit bland without having another car on there. So that's why this red one's here. It's a bit of an afterthought, but it does move around. So another thing that I did, and I've only ever done one time before, very early on when I first had the idea to build a mini city, was buy a second-hand bulk collection. So I found one online. It was a really good price and I bought it, which a bit spare of the moment, but I'm really glad I did. There were a lot of good parts. So this is new. This is, I think, the boutique hotel. It's a modular building. It's my very first modular building, which is super exciting. I, have only really dreamed about having these, and one day maybe having an actual minifigure scale city. But for the meantime, that's totally out of budget, and I definitely don't have the space for that. So I can only dream about having a minifigure scale city. But I mean, gosh, I cannot complain at all. I'm very, very, very happy that I decided to build a mini city, because one, it's a lot cheaper. Two, it saves space, even though I have dedicated this area to just having Lego. So it does still take up space, and I understand that not everyone is fortunate enough to have, any space to be able to put a city, but thankfully I do. And if you are wanting to build a city and even just have a shelf available or a small cubby in a shelf, I'd go for it. It's so fun, and it's nice having a creative outlet and a project to work on. And I don't know what I'm going to end up building in this extra base plate here, this part of the city that we have just expanded. So it's super exciting to not know what you're about to do and just start building. And yeah, so we got the boutique hotel, boutique, one of those. And up here, it also came with this, which is the medieval blacksmith. Oh my gosh, it's so dusty up there. Sorry, don't look at that. And that one, we'll keep it at this angle. This one came in the collection that I bought. And in New Zealand, this one I think a few $100s, and that one over there is also a few $100s, and that basically, if I were to buy them new, obviously it's not new, but if I were to, those two sets alone covered the cost of the entire collection. So this stuff over here, that all came with it. That's a friend's set, and this tub, like a big container under there, is full of loose parts. That also came in the collection. So it was definitely worth it, or I think it was definitely worth it, because that was just super exciting. That was a bonus. This set up here I was nearly going to buy, and for some reason I didn't, so it's just a bonus basically that it was actually included in this collection. Yeah, so I think that was worth it, and a lot of the parts, a lot of the loose parts that are in the black tub I'll use for building different things here. So yeah, anyways, that wraps up the update video. Like and subscribe if you want to see what I do with this area of the city, and continue to work on the mountains here and, you know, change other parts. Thank you again for watching. I will catch you in the next one.